Our Divi 5 framework has a brand new update, and now you're going to be able to add your primary font, which targets all your headings, and also your secondary font, which targets all your body text. Now, this is crucial in web design because you want to distinguish your headings and your body text. As you can see in this design here, this is our heading and this is our body text. If I scroll further down here, you also see this on this blurb. We have here our main headings, and then here we have our body font. And then finally, we also have a special update, and this update is for your frosted glass effect. So this can be applied just using a simple class. Anyway, let's dive in and let me show you. But before I talk about that, I want to show you quickly here. There's a website called fontpair.co. This is very cool if you want to find fonts that work well together. And this is crucial to get those beautiful designs that you may need as you're designing your websites for your clients or even for your own website. So I'll also leave fontpair.co in the video description below. So you can see here, these are really cool. We have Bitter and Railway over here. So you can easily add these onto SiteKrafter Pro, as I'll show you in this moment, in a moment. The other thing I also wanted to talk about is I have a deal on SiteKrafter.com. And by the way, this lifetime offer is ending in just a few days. So if you go to buy, you're going to notice that we have 1 day left, and this is a 40% discount. Now, this is a lifetime membership. So once you purchase this, you're going to get access to the SiteKrafter community. You also get access to future child themes, and also you have unlimited updates. I mean, pretty much you have everything that we have to offer on Divi University. Now, right now, there isn't much happening because, of course, Divi is still in alpha. But once they get out of alpha, we're going to have a lot of courses and all the support you need for Divi 5. Anyway, back over here. So what you need to do is to head over now to your main document, which is where you're going to go in and adjust all your fonts. So to do that, you're just going to come over here and add your font. So in this case, I want to change this font here for my headings to Poppins. So I'm going to go in and say Poppins. And then here it's going to be a sans serif. And this is very important, by the way. If you don't add this, this won't work. And for my secondary font, this is going to be Inter. So just by doing that, if you hit update, and by the way, I also show you how to update your framework. So I'll also link those videos in the video description below. All right, so once we've updated that, we're going to come over here now to our site, and we're going to do a refresh. So it looks like it hasn't worked. So let's do a hard refresh. Now, sometimes if it doesn't work, you may need to come over here to Divi, click on theme options, and then click on clear CSS cache. All right, so let's refresh our page now and see if the effect has taken place. And sure enough, you can see now we have our new updated font. Now we have Poppins, and our text here is now Inter. So as you can see here, this looks very, very beautiful. It's nice, and this applies across the whole website. All right, so let's recreate this design right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Edit with Divi, and we are going to, let's delete this and then start all over again. All right, so to start all over again, we need to click here on this plus button, and we go to regular. Right, so we're going to need a single column like that. And in this, we're going to need a group. And in this group, we're going to add text. In fact, we're going to have 2 bunches of text. So let's duplicate this as well, like that. All right, great. So what we need now is to change the section settings over here to full screen. So we're going to come to advanced, CSS ID and classes, and then we're going to say sec full screen. All right, great. So now you can see it's full screen, and it centers everything, by the way, automatically, which is fantastic. Now we're going to just copy a bunch of text. For example, I'm just going to copy a little bit here. And then we're going to come back and paste it in here like that. Okay, now next we're going to just also copy a bunch of paragraph text like that. Oops, that's a bit too much. Like that. And then back over here, we're going to go in and replace what we have in here. Now, check this out. So far, we have these two paragraphs, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the first one, which is this one right here. And then we're going to come over here to advanced, CSS ID and classes. And then I'm going to add my heading class. So it's going to be heading dash L. Okay, so we're going to make it nice and large. But if I want to make it bigger, I can just go extra large, just like that. And if I want to make it bolder, I'm going to say font dash 900. Okay, if you want to make it lighter, it's pretty much up to you. You can go for font 100, and maybe that's a design you want to go with. It's pretty much up to you as well. All right, so now that I have this, you want to make sure you target the group. Okay, this is very important. So you go to your group settings, you target that, and then you go to advanced, CSS ID and classes. And then over here, we're going to add a padding. So we're going to go PAD-L for large. Right now, you can't see anything, but of course, if I say BG, accent, ACC, and then 500. You're going to notice now that we have this background. So what we've literally added here with PADL is the padding around. Okay, so once we say PADL like that, it adds more padding, and we can even go extra large if you want. So let's put XL. Okay, so I think that's much better. All right, so we're just adding this so that you can see exactly what is happening. All right, so with that now, what we're going to do is to come back over here to our section settings, go to our background, and then we're going to add an image in the background. So with this little icon here selected, click on this plus button. Next, we're going to choose our image, and the one we're going to go with is, which one was it that I used? Was it this one? I think it was this one. Oh, let's try this one here. Let's try something different. Okay, we're going to click upload, and there we go. So now we have this huge image in the background, and we also have this text. So what we need to do now to apply this frosted glass effect, you click here on the group settings, because that's the one where we need to add the background color. We're going to go to advanced, and then we're going to go to CSS ID and classes. So of course, we're not going to need the background here. So we're going to get rid of the background. Okay. So what we're going to do now is to type in frosted glass. Look at that. So that has been applied. It's pretty cool. Next, we're going to also add some rounded corners to this. So we're going to say radius, RAD, dash L, if you want to go large, or we can even go extra large like that. But you know what? I'm going to go L. Just keep it nice and simple. So now we have pretty much, our design here. So you may think, okay, why don't we have a darker version? Okay, so we can go frosted glass dash dark. So there's two versions. So you can see now this one here is darker, and the previous one is lighter. Okay, so just to compare the two, this one is the light one, and then we kind of like go dark. So for me, I think I'm going to go with the dark one, but we're not done yet because our text here doesn't look great because it needs to be lighter. So we're going to click here on the top one, and we're going to come over here. All right, so here we're going to say font. No, we're going to say text. And then let's go gray 100. So it's a very off-white, okay? But of course you can add whatever color you want. You can even go, instead of saying gray, you can go accent. Okay, now I know you can't really see it, so let's go accent for 500. Now you can see the color, okay? So you can go accent 100 if you want, that's not too bad. And then over here, we can go in advanced, CSS ID and classes. And then we could say, okay, keeping our SK, let's add text. And let's make this gray 100. Okay, now it may be that you don't, maybe you want to make this text slightly bigger. We are going to say text dash L. Okay, so now the text is slightly larger. Now, do you see how this just makes the design much easier? Because this the class-based system allows you to go in and just design something super fast. And as you can see here, I was able to go in and put together this very fast. So over here again, let's say you want to change this to maybe bold. I'm going to come over here, CSS ID and classes. So instead of saying font 100, I'm going to say font 900. Okay, so now it's nice and bold, but of course we have a scale. You can even go 500, you can go 600, 700, 800, and so on. Okay, but we're going to keep it at 900. Okay, so with that now, I'm pretty much happy with that. Now I can go ahead and save. So you may have noticed what happened here. By adding section full screen, it just adds everything right in the center. So you don't have to stress about, adding your flex box, making sure everything is centered. Now, just to prove to you that this is actually a faster way of developing, I'll just add this section again. And what we're going to do is similar to what we did before. We're going to go in, add a text module like that. Now, if we wanted to add a bunch of padding to this, okay, I want you to see what happens. We're going to come over here to design. Now, this is what you would do typically without a framework like SiteKrafter. We're going to come over here to spacing, okay? And then we're going to add our padding. So let's go with, let's say 10 rem. Okay, so let's increase this now. Okay, so let's say this is our full screen. I want you to notice what happens when we now take a look at this in preview. Because essentially what we need to do here is to just show you the differences between what I've done here and of course what happens when you have this design the way we are looking at it now. All right, so now you're probably thinking, well, is this going to be mobile responsive? Well, the answer is yes. And you can see here that this one here on the bottom is not really responsive because this spacing here is not getting smaller. Whereas if you look at this one here, of course it is. Look at that. You see that? So now it's filling up the screen. Okay. But when I make my screen smaller, it's responsive. Look at that. You see that? See that? Super responsive. You can see the spacing here is great. If I scroll down here, ooh, look at that. So if you design this without a framework, you're going to have a lot of problems when it comes to spacing and responsiveness. So as you can see here, I just went in and I was just entering all my classes, and this was just putting together my design, and it was just coming together. I mean, even if you look at this, our fonts here are all responsive. Look at that. Okay, all our fonts are responsive. Anyway, that's the update. So it's available for download tomorrow. If you're a SiteKrafter Pro member, you're going to get it absolutely free, of course. All the updates are free. So I will send an email out to make this announcement. It's going to be, so keep an eye on the email, and you'll be able to download it. And like I said before, we're adding more and more features. I'm just waiting for Divi to release the the flexbox and the grid. I think that's going to be really fun. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.